All right, y'all. So let's talk about this. So Claressa Shields claps back at all the BS. This is a video I was about to make last week, but busy, caught up in things, so I'm making it now. And Claressa Shields basically, she said some things that was very powerful in her video, and she pointed out a lot of different things. And one of the things that she pointed out was, first of all, and I told you all these lying ass channels, that she was banned from boxing. And I said, how is she gonna be banned from boxing? Y'all, that's stupid. No, because she slapped Alicia. Okay, so they banned her from boxing because of a slap. Motherfucker, I seen Larry Holmes run across a bunch of cars with some big dusty ass cowboy boots on, jumped off the cars and drop kicked Trevor Burbick in the chest. I seen Riddick Bowe two-piece Larry Donald for absolutely no reason at a podium. Okay? Mike Tyson bit Holyfield's ear off in a damn fight. Bit Lennox Lewis' fucking thigh in the motherfucking press conference. Carl Froch bit motherfucking Andre Ward in a fight. Okay? Who was it that Floyd fought? Motherfucker bit Floyd's hand. There's so many different things we done seen happen and people didn't get bad. And y'all so dumb and so full of hate that y'all hope that that's what happened to her. No, she got banned from TKO events. Who cares? She's not signed to TKO. And basically, she didn't make a career with TKO. So who cares about TKO? MVP, I'm sorry, MVP. Whatever. Who cares about MVP? Who cares about MVP events? Who cares? They just had a more than half empty building with two MMA legends, they want to call them, right? What's legendary about Gina Carano? What's legendary? Y'all use that word so loosely. Legendary. Here's a woman who never peaked. We never seen her at her best. Maybe what we saw was her best. She got beat up by Chris Cyborg and she left the sport. Started doing movies. She came back, tapped out in 17 seconds, and they called this shit the pioneer and the trailblazer versus the trailblazer. Okay, yeah, you can be the first of something, but you understand what I'm saying? You talk about legends. It's like when you talk about football. You know why Joe Namath don't get talked about when they start talking about great quarterbacks? Because he had that one good season, that one Super Bowl win, and basically nobody brings up Joe Namath because he didn't do a whole lot. You understand? He didn't do a whole lot. Now, yeah, you can't take his win away, the win away that they had, and yeah, he has a Super Bowl ring. But other than that, he didn't do a whole lot. So you can't talk about, John Elway and Joe Montana. You know, you can't talk about a Warren Moore, even for quarterbacks. For teams that didn't win a championship but had way better numbers, it was better than that team. You know, as years went on, like just had better everything. Just saying, you can say, well, he got a ring. You can't erase that. But he had that one good season. Joe Namath wasn't no badass. Neither was Gina Carano. And in fact, Gina Carano, if you look at it, she never was in the UFC. And it's not like you have to be in the UFC to be one of the top fighters. But she wasn't there. Ronda Rousey built her career in the UFC. And you could see that she was more polished than Gina. It wasn't even close. You could see it. You could see it. But what ended up happening, right, is she retired and then Ronda was blowing up and Ronda was fighting, in the UFC doing what she was doing. And what happened? Ronda Rousey, when she finally got beat by Holly Holmes and Amanda Nunes, she retired, went to WWE. Simple. So she comes back and they try to sell this fight like this is going to be everybody. She said everybody's talking about, like, who's everybody? Because I don't know nobody really talking about this shit. I mean, they was promoting it, constantly talking about it. They were. But the streets, who's talking about that shit? The building was more than half empty. So doesn't that tell you something? Yeah. So you can label whatever you want to label. Now, my thing is, I listen to all this shit being said, and them talking about MVP being this and that. Man, let me tell you something about MVP, man. They're all about trying to put things together where they can make top dollar, but it's not about legacy. It's not about quality. That's never about quantity, not quality. And I'm listening to this, to what Shields is saying, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm looking at all these channels lying about her being banned from boxing. They act like MVP banning her from their events, like that's going to do something to her credibility. They didn't even want to show her. They don't even want to show her on camera when she's at an MVP event. First of all, so and Jake Paul has been trying to talk shit about her from the time we first knew about this racist piece of shit. Fuck Jake Paul, punk ass. But at the end of the day, as far as Alicia and her go, what she said was plain and simple. She want to run to the authorities, run to get a lawyer involved. She said, no problem, me too. So every time they open their mouth and say something about in this defamation of character, they will be hearing from our attorneys, right? Because at the end of the day, here's the deal. If she is banned, first of all, it's childish. It's childish. And I told you before, MVP should have told Alicia, yo, shut the fuck up. Stop talking about Claressa, man. These fucking interviews ask you questions, dismiss that shit. Okay? Especially now. Why? If this woman is banned from MVP events, cool. Then none of MVP's employees need to mention her name at no point in time. They should not be allowed to even mention her name. Just like if you got a pending court case, they tell you certain things you can't talk about. Okay, same thing. We're banning her from our events. Shut the fuck up and stop bringing her name up. Stop bringing her name up. Focus on who's in your division. Focus on who you're actually fighting. This is what this is about, right? No, you're clout chasing. She brought up the whole Shadeja Green situation, how she wasn't even aware, which all makes sense because none of us knew when we was watching that she had blood on her brain or whatever. We didn't know that until after they said it. So Claressa was making videos as the fights were progressing and things were happening, so she didn't know that. But just because she had blood on her brain, we're not supposed to say she got her ass whooped? The fuck kind of like, Shadeja Green said, I remember, same things that I said before. She was making in this video, how, we got a lot of girls up here that could fight Claressa, and right? And I'm like, wow, you telling a lot of girls, you should be talking about yourself. That's the whole thing about MVP, programming these people on what to say. And also, Claressa said the same thing that I told you guys before. There's not one girl that MVP has that will beat Claressa Shields. Not one of them. They know that shit. Let's use her name. Let's use her name to promote our fighters. Don't use Claressa's name. Use the females you have on the MVP to promote each other. And let's see how many people care. And this is what I've been saying from day one, man. Why do y'all keep bringing Claressa's name up? But then when she clapped back, all of a sudden she's salty, she's whatever. Y'all know how that is. You know what? You niggas are just like racist people. You niggas are racist towards black people, just like racist white people are. Perfect example, right? If a white person or Latino, anybody else outside of black people have bad experiences, have mental breakdowns, they get to a point where they snap, right? You know what they'll say about that white person? That Latino person, or whoever else is that's not black, that person is having a bad day. You know what? That person is probably going through some things, mental health issues. It's a factor. You have to think. You don't know what a person is going through, right? A black person can display the same exact emotions. This is a dangerous person. They're so full of anger and hatred. And, these people they're animalistic. Like, this is what they do. And this is exactly what you niggas are. You niggas will sit here and try to bury your own. But when you watch your own perform like a coon, behave like a coon, y'all sit there and support that. So the whole thing with Alicia getting the shit slapped out of her and doing nothing about it but running to her attorney, holding her face, like Jay-Z was in that elevator when Shalon slapped the shit out of him. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Claressa is doing the right thing. And then, like this, she showed the video and played it when Adrian Broner was talking about she naming all these guys that went through Alicia Baumgardner, right? Now you see how Alicia Baumgardner on this last video she did where she was with some guy and they was shopping and cooking and all that, and she talked about the name of that song is Pop That Pussy, how she was smiling at the guy as if like hint hint. Oh, trust me. People will use what you say and do against you. And all those names that Adrian Broner was naming on that video, right? So she can't say Claressa said it, Adrian said it. You know, and this was because she made that comment to Bill Haney about Adrian Broner. You can't argue with broke people and all that. So, yeah, the bouginess, the arrogance, the ego, all that came out of her. And pretty much MVP should only use MVP to promote MVP. You keep talking about, you know, Claressa Shields and using different people using her name. And the thing is, none of these motherfuckers even in her weight class. So when they keep talking about these women, who are these motherfucking superstars in MVP? That's what I want to know. Who? Let's look at the facts. Who are these larger than life superstars, male or female? The biggest star that they have is Jake Paul. The biggest female star that they have is Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano got her ass beat 3 times by Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor is not signed to MVP. Okay? She's not signed to them. So their biggest female star got beat 3 times by the same woman. So who are these big superstars? Mike Tyson isn't signed to MVP, and Mike Tyson is, you know what I'm saying? So who are these people? All these women use Claressa Shields' name. They're not in her weight class. None of them have any interest in going up to fight in her weight class. Who are you to give an ultimatum to Claressa Shields that she has to come down to your weight class? Who? And when Claressa says she wanted to fight Shadasia Green, regardless, look, Shadasia got beat up by Franchise. Y'all was talking all of this, who could beat Shields, and trying to find people. And pretty much, like Shields said in that motherfucking video, that, yeah, she was like, y'all only hope. But even Shadasia, I don't see her doing nothing with I think Danielle Perkins beats Shadasia Green. Lonnie Daniels surely did. I think Danielle Perkins beat Shadasia Green. In reality, nothing against Shadasia Green, but you know what I do see? I see a pattern of black people following directions from racists, following directions from people that they know is taking a personal shot. So all this so-called empowering women bullshit. Yeah, it's funny how you're selective with what woman doesn't deserve disrespect. What is it about Claressa? Shadasia is every bit as arrogant, just not as good. Can't back it up. Amanda Serrano too, same thing. But somehow Claressa is such a bad person. She's such a Clarissa's not the one calling these girls names out, talking shit about them. They say things about her, and then when she, addressed what they say, y'all just don't like it. And the fact she's undefeated, she continues to stay undefeated. And you got channels trying to actually have the nerve to try to make it seem like she's ducking the real fighters. Who? Who is she ducking? Who? Name one person she's ducking. Y'all always on Lauren Price, right? But now that they're fighting each other, it's like, she gonna beat Lauren Price too. You know what? Oh, now she's picking on... Oh, she's not picking on anybody. In fact, there's nobody on MVP that can beat Lauren Price. None of those women will beat Lauren Price. Lauren Price is about to fight Claressa. Let me tell you guys something right now, man. I would rather be a fighting champion, letting my work speak for itself, than to be some half-ass little champion who has nothing but weak names on my resume, but I'm lying to myself about how good I am just to one day crash and burn and have the very people around me that I thought had my back pretty much throw me to the wayside because really I didn't do anything. And this is exactly why I say I respect I always liked Lauren Price as a fighter. Always thought she was a talented fighter. And she stepped up to the plate. Let's go. Let's go. I like Sky Nicholson as a fighter. But the second she started calling saying she wanted to fight Amanda Serrano for undisputed, oh man, she need to sit her ass down. There y'all go with that bullshit. Fighters aren't supposed to want to fight. Y'all supposed to just want to talk trash. That's exactly what y'all are. A bunch of talkers. A bunch of non-productive, shit-talking people who basically don't like the fact that there's people who really want that smoke. Well, I tell you what, for Sky Nicholson, she had that one loss, and the chick that beat it, nobody even talks about her. Nobody's even, so, like the whole thing about women's boxing is not deep as it is. Okay? The last thing that these women need to be doing is out here trying to go at the ones that's making everything possible for women's boxing to even have just a little bit of attention. Because truth of the matter is, none of those women in MVP have a name. Nobody cares about what they're doing, and nothing that anybody can say. Nothing. There is no. If Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor didn't fight each other 3 times, okay, it would be a situation of there's a company called MVP trying to find a woman to push. And even with Baumgardner being that woman, who's on her resume that anybody cares about? See, and this is what I'm telling you. Everybody can see she's calling names that she knows the fight's not going to actually happen. She knows this. Well, Claressa said she's about to announce another fight soon. So, let me say this. I don't know what's up with the Lauren Price fight at this point. Because, let me say that, because when she said that, I don't know. Hopefully, it is the Lauren Price fight. Hopefully. But if it's not her, I don't know what went wrong. Because y'all saw the same thing I saw. But Claressa ain't ducking no goddamn body. She's not ducking. Who is she ducking and how? Who the hell out there is she ducking? Somebody had the nerve to say she's ducking a rematch with Hannah Gabriels. I'm like, man, you clowns. You clowns just love to talk about nothing. And of course, it's a black person running their mouth about nothing. Yeah, she's ducking the drug cheat. That actually, are you guys aware that Claressa and her team reached out to her and she said she'd only have the fight at 160 pounds? And Claressa's like, no, I'm fighting at 168 and I'm defending my title. So either you want the fight or you don't. So who's ducking who? And just like that old dusty bearded bald guy that made that video talking about Claressa's lying, the first I'm talking about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor was the first women to make $1 million in the fight. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. They made $1 million in their third fight, their very last fight, not the first 2. Okay, Claressa made $1 million the night she fought Savannah Marshall, which was way before the last fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. But it's always somebody black trying to fucking find fault against somebody black that they got nothing on but rumors and hearsay. But when you see a black fighter, black person who basically ain't worth a damn, and we hear the lies they tell, we see what they do, you'll find the reasons to make excuses for these people. Even for some of you who might even see the lies in certain people, you still find other people to make excuses for. And in fact, a lot of you black motherfuckers, that's all y'all do is find shit to say about black people. Not the ones who's doing fucked up shit, but just black people in general. But anybody not black, y'all find every way to praise them. Well, for Alicia, you got slapped in your jaw. You need to shut up because you ain't do nothing about it. For Jake Paul, he's a hoe. He's just a hoe. That's all. Then he tried to reach out and try to do work with Claressa. Come on, man. You know, it's just like when Robert Garcia, remember he was talking about Anthony Joshua? Can Eddie can you think Anthony Joshua, can he be fixed? No, you can't fix no. But then he took the job. He took the job. If you can't fix him, why work with him? Big payday? Then of course he goes into the I'm confident that AJ's gonna win and blah blah blah. Right. But you said he can't be fixed, and I believe AJ probably didn't see that video until afterwards. Probably wasn't even aware that Robert said that about him. But hey, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. I really, whatever happens, I can say this about Claressa. Her resume speaks for itself. I don't care what y'all say about it. Y'all can talk all that shit. She talked too much. She this and that. She backs it up. She's in there making it happen. While you got certain fighters just running their mouths. All these other fighters trying to get fights. All these other fighters talking about how difficult it is to get a fight. Why? Y'all so talented, right? Y'all so, such hell of a fighters. Well, why? Why y'all having such problems? And then all of them want to, call shots about what weight class you're going to fight her at. No. If you're not coming to at least 154, stop talking shit. Stop talking shit. You need to stop talking shit, period. How about just reach out? How about fighters just reach out? Have your team reach out to their teams, and fighters themselves can reach out to each other. Hey, let's make it happen. No, instead, let's just talk. Let's make it seem like we want that smoke, but let's just talk, because that's all I see in here. I ain't never seen Claressa. I ain't no punk. I ain't never see her, do no two-face acting like she's cool with somebody to talk behind their back. Or I've never seen her do no shit like that. But we've seen other fighters do it. We've heard the lies that people tell. And they, she was making fun of a woman that had blood on the brain. Man, listen, that happened during the fight. You liars went out and said it happened before the fight. And not one of you can give any goddamn information about anything about that before the fight. Not one of you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you lied. Just to try to make it look like Shadeja Green went into the fucking fight handicap. How stupid would that be? Just because you can't say the better woman won the fight. Lonnie Daniels tore that ass up, and that's that. Simple. Oh, but that's harsh. Fuck you. Simple. The hell we got to sit here and sugarcoat what we have to say, because what happened. If Claressa Shields was in that situation and somebody beat her till she had blood on her brain, y'all would be celebrating, because y'all a bunch of hateful, no good, deceitful niggas. That's what y'all are. And bottom line, nobody was making fun that it happened. She got her ass whooped regardless. Whether blood was in her brain, her mouth, whatever, her eyes, bottom line, she got her ass whooped, and that's what happened. Y'all can't deal with that shit. Y'all sitting up here talking. Did y'all act like that when Tyson bit Holyfield ear off? No, y'all made excuses. No, man, because you come headbutting. Yeah, go sit back and watch the fight. I sat here and I had money in my hand. I said, any one of you niggas right now can show me where all these constant headbutts are coming from, I give you this money in my hand right now. And not one of them motherfuckers sat on my couch can show me. Yeah. Intentional headbutts in Mills Lane made it known. The fuck out of here, man. And we watched the fight, but y'all saying what happened, what actually didn't happen. And y'all saying it like y'all don't have common sense to see. Y'all just repeat what everybody else say. And that's why to this very day, somebody will watch it and go, damn, you was right, though. I watched it and I know what the fuck I saw, man. I'm not going to sit, y'all heard me get on Holyfield before. What the hell I'm going to sit up here and make excuses for Holyfield, anybody for? Nah, Mike was getting his ass whooped. He knew he couldn't win. He started getting flashbacks to the first fight. And he just said, you know what? I want out of this fight, and I'm going to do it in the stupidest way I can to get disqualified. This way they can't say that Holyfield just beat me. Yeah. And what did he say last year in the interview? About Holyfield headbutting him. Well, to be fair, I was headbutting him too, but I got the sympathy. Yeah. So unintentional headbutts is not you headbutting someone. Stylistically, head clashes happen. Just like, southpaw, how you stepping on each other's feet and all that. Yeah, it's not always intentional. And basically, when you look at this situation, I don't give a fuck what happened in this fight or that fight. We're looking at right here, right now, what happened in this particular fight. But yeah, y'all say what y'all gonna say. You know, I don't do delusion, man. I deal with the reality. I deal with the facts. So yeah, I feel like that right there. Whoever this guy, I can't remember the name. The guy that basically was saying that Claressa, he was reaching out, talking to her. I guess it's somebody that's a part of MVP or whatever. But pretty much, you know, she said a whole lot in that video, and she was addressing things that was said. And you don't hear nobody from MVP denying nothing. You don't hear any of them, you know, saying nothing about what she's saying isn't true. Not one of them. And regardless, if you want to really go by like what I said, especially since she's being banned, I wouldn't even have to go that far. I'd have just told her, man, listen, stop talking about this woman because she's not on your radar. Unless this is an actual fight that we can make happen, stop. Focus on the people in your look. Hype up the women that's in your weight class, right? How many people are there? Who's really there? So with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, like now all of a sudden she want to talk. Katie has already made it known. I told you this before that she only want one more fight, and that would be her retirement fight. Amanda Serrano, from what I understand, is supposed to have been dropping down to 126 to fight there. Did she stay there? Did she? I don't know. But now all of a sudden, Baumgardner's calling out again somebody that's at 140 and somebody that's at 126. So you understand what I'm saying? But yet, Caroline Dubois 5 pounds up. She ain't talking about fighting her. And who's her next opponent? Who's Alicia Baumgardner's next fight gonna be against? See. Alicia would feel real stupid if she fights somebody that she's supposed to beat and that person ends up beating her. Then all of a sudden, then what? What's the excuse going to be then? Listen, y'all banned Alicia on Claressa from MVP events. Tell your fighters to shut up and stop saying her name. Tell your fighters you don't need to use her name. We got enough people in our stable that we can hype each other up. Same way y'all had that fucking half-empty building for Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. Don't think it won't happen in boxing too. All I see is a bunch of clout chasing, a bunch of fakeness. Y'all don't even care. I seen a dude on TikTok. This motherfucker really had on fake muscles. Had these little muscle-shaped pads under the clothes, the abs and everything. Talking about, yo, you know, this is what you do. And see, there's nothing wrong with this. You know, people, the compliments, you'd be surprised the compliments I got. The compliments you got for some fake muscles. Wow. That's like a woman having on a weave and somebody going, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. Oh, thank you. It's a wig, dummy. It's not her hair, it's a wig. Some fake ass muscle. Y'all seen the muscle sleeves? Slide them up and it's shaped like a muscle in there. Got the abs. Men walking around here, today's so-called man walking around here putting all these undergarments on like women. Fake muscles. Too lazy to take your ass to a gym. This is the generation that y'all support, not me. Keep her name out your mouths. She's banned from y'all, even if she wasn't banned. But especially the fact that she's banned, then let your fucking so-called talent shut up and promote each other with only through MVP. Since y'all so prominent, y'all so powerful, y'all strong, y'all can't do it. Nobody even know who these women are or care who these women are. And that's just the reality. And in fact, nobody in the whole MVP stable go from one fight to the next to support women's fighting. Claressa was the only one that was doing it out of all these fucking women fighters. So, and like I said, whole time they didn't even put the camera on her that one time. And this was before. Look, regardless, she's been at MVP events before, and they did the same thing. Didn't even show her on camera. So she's not missing anything. And they have no superstars. They have no so-called larger than life people. No, they don't have any of that. Jake Paul is the biggest star that they got. And in fact, he's hated. People are finally sick of his ass. That's why Anthony Joshua broke his jaw in 2 different places. And this is the same guy, too stupid to promote his own fucking event that he's a part of, talking shit about Francis Ngannou. Anthony Joshua's not signed to you, dumbass. And you talking shit about when Anthony Joshua knocked you out, but all you did was run from Anthony Joshua, and he broke your jaw in 2 different places with one punch. And you were sitting there, When people thought that motherfucker was doing that, like saying, oh, good point. No, that motherfucker jaw, bro, you couldn't control that shit. You look like a fucking owl. Yeah. Jake Paul. Y'all don't have nobody. And y'all most popular face is a guy who did nothing but fight a bunch of washed up MMA guys and over the hill former boxers who's old enough to be his grandparent. But it is what it is. Y'all support this fake shit, not me. That's all I got for you guys now. Catch you on the next video.